Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let's go. It's me, JDV, here, John DiValero and Nick Marolda. We are live at Audi Lakeland. Nick, it's Sunday, and we're just winning the game right now.
That's right.
That's what we're talking about. Let's talk about how it started, and let's talk about how it's going, bro. That's what I'm talking about. We came in here, and, look, first of all, we're not promoting, we're not alleging, we're not doing any of that type of stuff. This is just our opinion. That's all we're talking about. But we're talking and we're explaining. And this is live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube right now. And we talked before about being open Sunday and all that type of stuff. And we talked about, like, if you want to be elite, if you want to win, of course you got to go the 7 days a week. And we're down with that. But one of my jobs here, in my opinion, is to bring the action and bring the traffic. Now, we haven't even, obviously we're going to live show. We've barely started on that, like minimal. We haven't really unleashed it right now. And it's funny because I'm texting back and forth with some people in the automotive space, and I'm not going to name names or say who's who or anything like that, but they're still in the middle of deals, and that's cool. But dude, we've already won the game.
Yeah.
We've already won the game. It's over, bro. It's a wrap. We're in overtime. We're sitting in the VIP. We're hanging out. We're cool. We crushed it, bro.
Yeah.
We crushed it. We crushed it. We crushed it. Here's the deal. We came in here, and there's a glass half full, glass half empty. Right? You always have to think about that. You got to think about your mentality. You got to think about motivation. Right. You got to think about how to win and what your angle, what your plan of attack, what your strategy is. So, yeah, we came in here and there wasn't a lot of appointments and there was an empty showroom. Right. And, some people, maybe there's question marks sometimes. What are we going to do? I said what I needed to say. I explained things. I laid out the strategy. We all know I talk a lot. But did I not lay it out?
Yeah, absolutely.
And in the end, did it not make sense?
It made sense today, yeah.
It made sense, right? It made sense. And in the basic theory is this. Look, this is how I look at the car business. This is my strategy. I'm not going to lay it out here, of course. This is my strategy. This is how I look at the company. This is how I look at the brand. This is how I look at this market. This is how I look at boom, 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 boom. Here's the town. Here's how we win. Here's how we do this and this and this. Not in super duper detail, but in broad enough strokes. And this is what we need to do now. So great. You have an empty showroom. Fantastic. What can we do right now? How do we accelerate? How do we get motivation? How do we work together? How do you look at a deal? How do you, when you have the football, how do you make that play? Are we running? Are we passing? What are we doing? So then we start putting some of these things in play. And essentially what I said, without giving too much away, is like, listen, you can look at it two different ways. Glass half empty, glass half full. Glass half empty, like, okay, what's not here, what I want, this and that, whatever. Glass half full, guess what? We got a great showroom, we got a great brand, we got a great location, and we have a great staff. We can do 1, 2, 3 things right now to make a difference. And when we get that up, so we can do some things that nobody else is doing. And when we get that opportunity, we're gonna maximize it. And here's how we're gonna maximize it. And when you saw me, when I touch the desk, this and that, whatever, I'm like, here's the play. Here's what we got. Here's how we're going to do it. Boom, 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 boom. Tagging you in, doing this. We're going to switch this, right? 2, 3 clients at the same time. I had some people coming in. Great. We're going to do that. I hit my planner. Boom, boom, boom. Lined up some appointments. Bam, bam, bam. Three fresh appointments. 3 fresh appointments on a Sunday, player. What are we doing now? And then at the same time, and we're singing, we're doing happy birthday to Dennis, and we've got brownies and cookies from the end. It's amazing, Nick Marolda style. And then we have people coming in. I'm going out there. Oh, you need some help? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, great. A6, see you later. That's done. Sold, done, over, game over. Oh, we got this. I'm going to tag in my guy, Nick Marolda. Bam. We got a little half skis on that. We got an Audi SQ8 coming in. Ooh, reel that in. Huh? You want to come in? Come in. Oh, when we coming in? Oh, we're coming in today. Player. That's what we're doing. We're just doing it, bro. I'm just getting started, bro. Do you see the heat?
Yeah.
When I touch it, what happens?
Explosive.
It's explosive, bro. And because we have a game plan and I talk to my team, it's not all about me. It's about great leadership. It's about a great ownership. It's about a great brand. It's about saying, hey, here's what I'm trying to do, and here's how it's going to benefit you. Yeah. Right? I've said enough. Talk to me about today, how you felt coming in, how you feel right now, and what we're doing here and how you're growing and how I don't want to make it about me, but how the team is helping you develop.
Yeah, so today, it started out a little bit slow in the morning when we first started, and then, next thing you know, kind of running around a little bit. Got a little crazy. John had some people in here today. We were buzzing. Like he said, tagged me in. Was just getting the energy going, and we ended up getting some deals out of it. So really.
Did the customers have fun?
Oh, we had an absolutely great time with the customer.
We had a great time.
On the A5 deal, absolutely great time.
They love us.
Yeah.
They love us.
Really good time.
That dude's coming on the show tomorrow, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's nonstop. I talked to someone, and I'm not gonna. Let's just say, you don't. What can I say right now? I'm working all kinds of deals. I'm working all kinds of plans. You don't even know what it is. All I've ever said is pay me what I'm worth. That's it. And I'm not saying I'm not, and we love Cavalli, and we love Gino Walsh, and we love everybody like that. We know that, and thank you. And there's no doubt about it. And let's give that credit where credit's due. What other kind of ownership, what other kind of leadership allows us to do this? Tony Zeta, general manager. Who else gives us that ball, gives us that rope, that opportunity? Enough about me. What about you? I mean, you don't know. See, the good and the bad about me is I've worked for a lot of different dealerships. I've worked with different states. 3 different states. Record breaker, 3 different states. 3 different brands. Doesn't matter. Big, small, whatever, doesn't matter. But so this is your first job in the car business?
Yes.
Okay. What's your take on that?
I mean, realistically, you learn something new every day, gather new information every single day, and including today, right?
But don't you feel, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, you say whatever you want, there is no holds barred here. Don't you feel like you have opportunity? I mean, how many times, who does a podcast at a dealership? After hours, bro. After hours. We don't care. We're going to do it. We're going to win. We're going to stack it up. We're going to put the money on the table right here. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I may not have that G money, but I'm going to make it. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to make it work. It's okay for now, player. We're going to dial it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's growth, it's opportunity.
Yes.
We're not talking car deals. We're talking training. Do I not try to help you guys in training?
Yeah, absolutely.
How to think about a deal, how to approach a deal, how to approach, where do we do, how do we stage things? How do we close 2, 3 different deals at the same time? Obviously, getting the leadership from Tony, Danny, and all the rest. Set the appointments. Set the appointments. You're not selling the car, you're selling the appointments. But the other thing about that is now we're also talking about strategy, market strategy, economics, marketing strategy. How do we do this? How do we do that? Media strategy, social media strategy. Hey, you know what? Here's what you're trying. What do you want to do? What makes you happy? Because your goals and motivations might be different than mine. So let's talk about that. When you come in here, let's say it's a Sunday, let's say it's a Saturday, you were out late, whatever it is, you've got different things. What's your routine? What's your personal motivation? What does that regime look like?
Yeah, so I mean, myself and Joseph, who also works here, part of the thing of what we like to do is, we have our notebooks down and we write down our tasks for the day, right? So, what can we set and what can we achieve for that day? So if you give yourself a list,
I like that,
to go about what you want to accomplish for the day, it sets goals for, the entire day, and not just the day, but the week moving forward too. So if you go around and you check off the tasks, phone calls, texts, emails, what can we do? Can we set the bar a little bit higher for the amount that we do, and then just move forward and build off of that?
Right, and the thing is I love that. I'm not a big notebook guy, but I know that is a huge deal, and that works really. I probably should be. That works really well for a lot of people, right? I have it up here, and you have to find what works for you, right? I mean, again, Emmett Smith and Bernie and Barry Sanders, right? 2 awesome Hall of Famers, different styles, different plays. But do you now? I talk a lot. We know that I've laid a lot of things out. I've kind of fire hose dumped a lot of stuff. But do you see? We're not there yet. We're a long ways off. We're a long ways off, and I've only done like 2% of what I can do. But when I painted the vision, they probably told you like, oh, this guy's coming in here. He's a superstar. He's a monster. This and that, whatever. And it probably, I could imagine, because I know how it is. You're probably like, oh, who's this guy? What? We don't need that. Whatever.
Right.
We don't have that. Right? And that's fair.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But now that you've seen me and you've seen a little bit, and I've talked to you about what the plan is and how it works for everybody and how it works for the store, is it looking a little different now?
Yeah, I mean, take today, for example, seeing it in action, just the amount of people that you had at once today in the dealership, right? So that alone is just a good start to just continuing moving forward. And
everyone was happy. Nobody was mad.
Yeah.
We're closing deals all over the place. We have action. And what you see is action begets action.
Right.
When this person's buying a car, then that person wants to buy a car, and the other person wants to buy a car. And what I loved is the leadership and the quarterbacking from Danny, right?
Yep.
And we're all working together. We're hanging out in the GSM's office. We're doing things. We're all working together. The synergy, there's no backstabbing. There's no this and that, whatever. Yep. We all find a way to get it done. I said, hey, let's do it this way. And Danny's like, well, why don't we do it this way? I'm like, hey, you know what? That's cool. Let's do it that way. And boom, 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 boom. And, you know, it's the trust on the team.
Right.
It's the camaraderie of the team. And forget about, take me out of the play. Like, you guys seem to work really well here on the floor. How does that work?
I think it starts with just the communication that the staff has, right? So everyone really kind of has a general idea of what's going on. So it's really easy to communicate with one another, like what's going on with each deal. So it's really easy to tag someone in if needed when you get a little bit busy. So I think that, you know, that effective communication that we have with each other just really is a good way to, you know, continue to build and maintain that relationship with each other and, you know, each team member that we're with.
And let's talk about half deals. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't do half deals. Are you insane, dude? I mean, now listen, I'm someone that for my career, you know, the record breaker stuff, you start clipping up 20, 30 plus 40 deals, it gets tough to do a lot of halves, right? I've been on like 10, 15 halves in a month and stuff like that. And if you end up like doing 90, 95% of the work, it's a little bit different equation. But like in this situation, like, did you not, and again, I'm not putting words in your mouth or whatever, but did you not see that, like, I did at least half the work, like, right, I've talked to this guy before, touched him, if they're back over here, boom, 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 lined it up, we already had the car inbound, whatever, and as soon as I got free, boom, I tagged myself in, and I think that's important. Half the deal has to be at least half the work. Yes. You have, and that goes to the trust, right. And that goes to the team, right? I mean, how easy, relatively, was that of a half deal?
It was very easy.
Very easy, dude. So if you do, now no one's working every single day, but if you do, well, some people can. But I mean, if you do half a deal a day, guess what? That pays the bills at the end of the month.
Right.
Right? That's 10, 15 cars right there, player. And then you can stack up your own stuff. It's easy. Let's go, bro. So what I'm saying is you can look at this glass half empty. And when we came in here, there was a certain vibe. But we turned it all around. Yeah. It's in your power. It's in your control. Now, some things aren't, and no one, you know, I don't walk on water. Nobody does. I'm like, I'm 100% closer. I've seen this from some great trainers. Maybe. I've never seen that. I don't claim that. In fact, I just had this conversation the other day. I think, based upon my stats, stuff like that, like I may be, it depends on the brand, but let's say you're in the right brand, whatever, you know, 35 to 50% closer. Average, national average, about 23%. So, yeah, I mean, if someone's not so good, you know, maybe they're 10, 15%. So I'm like 2 to 3 times as good, 50% to 2x, maybe 3x as good as other people out there. But that doesn't matter. There's still a mathematical equation there. Right. You still have to have the customers. Correct. You still have to have the inventory. Whatever that is, it still has to pencil out. Correct. And then you get into this car math that I think is absolutely insane. And I don't know how people do that because that stuff never works, right? There's real math and real analysis. That's what I try to do. I try to be honest about stuff. And people think I don't talk smack. I try to be realistic about stuff. And then, because that gives you the honesty, like, look, I ate 3 brownies today, and I said, you know, and they were really good, and thank you, Randy, for that. But I was like, you know what, I don't need that. I need to be accountable to myself and say, that's not going to be getting me where I need to go, right? I'm 4-time national champion. So when you're talking to your staff, when you're making your own plan, whether you have a notebook, you have a buddy, someone holds you accountable, or you have great staff. The other thing I say, and I'm not trying to pump it, you know, Tony Z, I love the way he's with the staff, with the people. He's out there praising trades. He touches every trade, bro. Right, yes. Go ahead. Tell me about, you know it, you've seen, what's the process? What's it like?
Yeah, so I mean, I get him involved with, you know, all the trade appraisals just so that way, you know, once he's involved, you know, he understands what's going on with the deal and wants to help out however he can, which, you know, is a great asset and tool to have in the deal just because, you know, the more eyes are on it, then, you know, the more potential that you have with it.
Do you have other friends in the car business?
A little bit, nothing too extensive, just because I'm so brand new to it. But
you see, like, so in other words, where I'm getting at with that is our process, this team versus maybe other places in town. Right. Can you see the difference?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I know people that have worked at other dealerships with different processes, and it's really no comparison.
So we'll wind this down, and we want to talk tomorrow. I want to talk to Nick because he's such a great guy, and he's off tomorrow and everything like that, and I would definitely, obviously, respect that. Do you see what a difference 5 hours makes, 7 hours makes? I mean, when you're walking out today with this kind of victory, with this kind of pump up, with this kind of momentum, with this kind of training versus the start of the day, and you see how you took control of that day and how you had people working shoulder to shoulder with you in the trenches.
Yeah.
The beginning of the day, how did it start? How's it going? What's your take on that?
Yeah, so I've worked a lot of Sundays now, coming up on a year that I've been here, so I've kind of had the experience of Sundays that, there's one point in the day, usually it's right around lunchtime, where you get right when Danny,
you'd rather be out golfing or whatever.
Right around lunch, but you get this kind of rush of people that come in, and going back to, I just want to touch one more thing on the notebook. What I think is really important is, this deal, for example, it's not just a deal they leave and you don't hear from them again, right? There's a lot of things that go into these deals, and whether or not they're taking a vehicle home for the night, or whether or not there's stuff that goes on the WIO UO. So it's important that you write this stuff down on the notebook, because it can get really, really jumbled up, and if you're working with other clients and other deals, it can get really confusing. So I think that that's a really important tool, at least that I use, that when I write these things down, I can check them off the list, so that way I can continue, make sure that they're satisfied, and then moving forward, because there's a lot of things that go into it that you don't want to get muddied up and lose track of.
So I'm gonna piggyback on that, because that's absolutely right. Like I don't keep a notebook, because I think it's like a journal or a workout notebook, and people do that. Yeah. But I take, and you'll see me, extensive notes. I have a stack. I have right here. Hold on, time out. I've got it right here, and I always have it. Everybody knows where I work, how I do it. Hold on, make sure I don't have anything on this. This is clean. Give me a second, audience. Right here. Here's my white paper. I got all this stuff, and I'll just always. It was always that way in college, law school, especially after that, MBA school, everything. So I'm all about the notes. You need to know where you're at in the deal. And then the notes in the CRM too, right? You got to let your team know where it is. And as we say, if it's not in the CRM, it didn't happen, right? That's the iconic saying right there. So, okay, let's wind this down. You're feeling good. You're feeling like you're learning. You're seeing what I'm doing. It's activity. It's action. Winners want to work with winners. As Steve Jobs say, A players want to work with A players. They don't want to work with B and C players. And when you have that winning team, everybody holds each other accountable, and everybody sees the firepower and sees how it builds and how the momentum. And this is in anything. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I was disagreeing here.
No, yeah. And so it's how do you build, we talk about culture. How do you build that culture? And it doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, and I'm not talking about here. We're not talking about here, for any. I'm talking about any situation. I don't care if it's a football team, if it's workout or whatever. It doesn't have to be like 24/7, 365, but it has to be mission focused, goal focused, results focused. Like when I was, working the desk up there and I was interviewing people, hiring people, or I was looking for my assistant, or I was running my own business. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you're doing it from email. I don't care if you're 1 day a week. I don't care if you're sleeping here in the dealer. I don't care how you do it. Let's just produce it, because different people work different ways. I'm going to work with different. It doesn't matter, dude. But let's win. Let's have a game plan to win. If play A doesn't work, then we'll try B. We'll try C. Maybe we'll go in parallel. Whatever it takes. But I'm a winner. There's everything I've done in my life, almost. The major stuff. It's winning. Whether you're talking about, well, I was born a super genius. Whether you're talking about having a national TV show. Whether you're talking about undergrad law school at Berkeley, whether you're talking about honors at Berkeley, whether you're talking about A's in all my business classes, whether you're talking about honors in my business school, whether you're talking about 4-time national champion. I can go on, dude, the record breaker. And now we're bringing that right here, because it's not about me. It is about me, for me and my family, of course, 100%. But it's also about giving back to the team and training people up in the tutelage and the growth, because I want to be part of a winning team. And you can't, I want to be part of a record breaking for the store, and you can't do it that all by yourself, one person. I will have something to say about that in a second. I did receive a very interesting text from a very high up individual, but I want to hear about what you feel about that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, just to piggyback off that a little bit, I don't think it's not going to happen overnight, right? But it's just building off of it and just kind of, giving it more towards me. So, I'm already, I'm learning, I'm asking questions, right? I think that's important to,
I love you, bro. You got a great attitude. I love you from the beginning. I can see that right now. And that's the thing. And the thing of it is this is where great training comes in, and again, I'll have to give credit. That's why I say I think he's the smartest guy in the automotive business. No one's perfect. We have our disagreements. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes he's wrong. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes he's wrong. It doesn't matter like that. But Gino Walsh, I've seen him. I've known him for over 10 years. He's the guy that hired me, that put me in play over there at Addy Lighthouse Point in the minor leagues, and I got moved in the major leagues. But I mean, he's someone, in my opinion, that has been for technology, has been for training, that has been for networking, that has been for looking at best practices. You have to understand what you don't know. You have to always be learning, always be growing. I just saw the CEO, and I can't remember who it was, and I really apologize. A woman on LinkedIn, a great leader, and it's like someone asked her, how did you get there? How did you do it? And stuff like that. I thought of myself as a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
And I'm down with that, dude.
Right.
Anytime you think you have all the answers, guess what? The world changes the questions. Like, things change, things move. And the thing is about me is, forget about me. Remove me. I mean, something happens, whatever. Now today, with Danny, myself, whatever, you see what's possible.
Right. Yeah.
On a Sunday. With nobody here. There's no action walking in, and you create the action. That doesn't mean that, like, again, nobody walks on water. It's a whole type of thing. You know, some of it's serendipity, some it's inventory. It's everything coming together. But it's thinking outside the box. If you want to be dramatically better, you need to be dramatically different. You have to do things differently than other people. And I will say this, and we're talking about business models, talking about different things. I gotta be careful what I say here right now. But it's very interesting because, and then this is another show, another time. We talked about it before. I talk about talent. I talk about being paid what you're worth. I talk about all that type of stuff. And we're going to wind it down here, as I'm sure Danny's ready to go. But we're having fun. Yeah. And it's like this, dude. So when I don't want to be, I need to be a little bit vague about this. And I'm going to be a little bit vague about this, and I'll close on this. But it's interesting, right? It's because it's about making a point of how you look at things. And I'm willing to do. I mean, now it's up to 6 or 7 GMs. I'm going to have a show soon. And I got to write my notes down. The tale of 6 or 7 GMs, because the way they value me, the way they look at me, the way they talk to me is all very different, and it's really, really interesting. And I got a text because they did a show about breaking our record here. And I want to say this to if Tony, whoever's watching, whatever. There's no disrespect to anyone. It's just an interesting perspective. Right? I love this team here, anything like that, and how we're going for 45. And I got this text from a big name GM. If I said the name, people would know, and I'm not going to say the name. Not now. And I'm going to have to modify this text slightly just because I do not want to identify this person. Quote, you can sell 45 cars yourself. I'm going to leave it at that because it's just the rest of it might give it away. Now, I don't disagree with that whatsoever. I think that's a very interesting statement. And again, do you have a model that says the traditional model in the car business is every salesperson sells 10 cars. If I want to sell 100 cars, I need 10 salespeople, or I need coverage, or I need whatever. And we talked about, that's the first thing I said about Sunday. I said, listen, and I'm not making any advice or whatever like that. I said, people are like, oh, Sunday, okay. And I said, and I get it fully. I'm in a different position because when I come down here, I have nothing else to do, and I want to make my money every single day. Okay, it's different, right? And I'm not 20-something or 30-something, whatever. But if you have limited touches, I believe in having a special forces team, an elite team. If you have limited touches, which right now everybody in the car business does, particularly when they're tight on marketing, and I want my best of the best handling that. If I have 100 touches, 100 customer opportunities, I want a 40% closer, a 50% closer every single time, rather than two 20% closer, 10% closer, whatever. I don't want a BDC. I mean, some people believe in the BDC. I believe in. I want someone that knows the car. I want someone that, right? Right. So I've always believed in that. Unless you have an elite BDC, and usually with BDCs, they're either great or they're terrible. It's usually not really much in between, in my experience. But it's when you have people that look at me and say, okay, well, we value this. This person obviously says my value is here. So it's just, and this is someone that's super successful. It's a big name. So it's really, really interesting in how you look at it, but also how you look at yourself and putting yourself in an opportunity, putting yourself in a position anywhere you're at to say, how can you add value? At the end of the day, you're going to get compensated by adding value. So how can you, Nick Marolda, okay, yes, you've got your role, you've got the paid, everything like that. But how do you go above and beyond that? And that gets back to the motivation, because if you can show that you can do these extra things, now all of a sudden, right? And that's why I wanted you on this show, because this dude, in my opinion, I'm not promoting, is seriously, big talent, big opportunity. People need to see it out there. And this is part of what I hope makes Audi Lakeland special.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I'm down with it. Sunday, winning, motivation, how you started, how you finished, how's it going? We love it. Audi Lakeland. Hey, for Nick Maroldo, I'm John DeVillero. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Stay good, stay pumped, stay blessed. We appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.